be giggling.
B is for bubble. B is for bubble. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Bubble, bubble, bubble. And B is for bubble who bought and B is for brother who bought me some. And B is better than any letter in bubble gum. B.
Sesame Street used to jam.
Listen, I
have a whole song about milk.
Do you remember that song? Cooperation makes it happen. Cooperation.
Was that on
working
Sesame Street?
together? Dig it. Yeah, they were making a garden.
I don't know why I thought that was on another children's show.
What was it? I'll dig the hole and you plant the seed. Together we can get all the things that we need.
Hey.
Cooperation. Listen, I can go in about Sesame Street. Until I was 15, I watched it regularly.
you?
Like I would run home to
Why
watch
wouldn't
it.
you? I definitely watched
It is
Fraggle
what
Rock.
it
I
is.
feel like until just, I mean, it was
Down
like
a Fraggle
college.
Rock. Down a Fraggle Rock.
If some episodes come on now,
Doon
I'm
doon 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 doon. Doon 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 doo 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 doo. Down a Fraggle Rock.
That was Community. Those little builder things, they would eat
Yeah,
the
yeah,
buildings,
yeah.
and then they would just no, they ate the buildings, and the builders kept building them, and then they ate them.
They would fight against the
That's
big
a Community.
monsters. I work with a woman who looks like one of the Fraggle Rock monsters.
I thought you were gonna say she loved the trash heap, and I was like, you're gonna lose your job.
You about to lose your job.
You're about to lose your job. Miss Smith looked like the trash heap. She big and brown in parts, lighter in some parts, but browner in other ones. You're going to go. You're not working after you have that. After you say that somebody is big and is lighter in some parts.
I didn't say any of this. I just want you to know.
Little pieces falling off. Remember? You gonna get fired. Does she sit there and not do anything? Like the trash heap? Just Miss Smith, your kids are coming back from lunch.
Whenever she gives me a clap, I'm moving on because she's not going to drag me down with this. Nope.
Down the Fraggle Rock. That was the clap.
Nice. I'm going to take it too.
Starts. Our on Wonderment faces.
Just the entire time while you're talking, I'm just. That's what's gonna happen. I'm certain that you all are wondering why we are dressed as we are today. And we'll tell you why. Because I'm Sofia B. Packard.
And I am Harriet E. Giles.
And we are the founders of Spelman College. Correct. We're also the Joy RX.
Yeah. That wasn't founded in 1881, but Spelman College was. Ow!
Where we prescribe joy as a therapeutic tool today.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1881.
And in 1881.
Spellman, thy name we praise. Standards and honor raise. Will ever faithful be. No, I'm off.
Throughout eternity, may peace with thee abide. I don't know. I might change the key. And our forever God, thy high, supreme, and true blessings to you. Whatever. The notes don't matter. It's the feeling. It's the feeling of the Spelman College experience.
Listen, I bet none of these other people from other HBCUs know their hymn.
They do.
They better. You better.
So. I kind of like Morehouse's one. I think that's dramatic when they drop their heads.
Dear old Morehouse.
The first time I saw that, I was like,
for me. It's the that.
The brotherhood.
It's the swaying from side to side. But we're not talking about Morehouse today.
Nope.
Huh? We're talking about Spelman today and for the whole month.
Give me a long Spelman.
Spelman.
Give me a short Spelman.
Spelman. Don't give me no words, no words. Don't give me no phrase, no phrase. Just give me that beat. Woo! That's Spelman beat.
Woo!
All right.
That's funny. Okay, but honestly, real talk and beyond like the celebration of it, we're kind of in awe in Spelman College. I'm not joking. Like there's an awe and a wonderment for a school.
Anytime that you are 16 years in a row the number one HBCU.
I'm in awe and wonderment. This just a specific space for Black women to not just gather, not just kind of be in one space, but to be excellent. To be excellent. Every homecoming, a reunion, I literally send my parents a thank you letter.
Ooh.
Thank you so much. My parents get so many of them. They're like, we know it must be homecoming time again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen.
I send them a thank you so much. My life.
Forever changed.
Forever changed.
It is the greatest sisterhood. It is the greatest sisterhood
of my life.
Oh, God.
I can't imagine.
Easily.
I mean, we would have thrived in other places, but I mean, just
whatever.
But honestly,
to be a Spelman woman,
and it transcends just the people you knew in college. As soon as you see somebody, you are overseas. It doesn't matter what. As soon as you see someone, that is your sister. That kind of. Woo!
Now you talk about an awe and wonderment. We can go in all about Spelman right now.
Yeah, we actually can.
There's just nothing. I can't explain.
It's hard to explain outside of it. Yeah.
Unless
it's a school for Black
women. It ain't a school for the average Black woman. I can tell you that.
No, it is an exceptional experience. Our teachers, just being in, being gathered and being told, all of the things that go against what is normally told to Black women in this society. Just the opposite.
You know what I remember?
You're beautiful.
Every
HBCU
you go to, they do that whole speech of, look to your left, look to your right. One of you will not be here by the time we get to graduation. I want you to know that at Spelman, we were told, look to your left, look to your right. Make sure you're all here.
She better be there.
Your sister better be
there. That's your
sister. You
sister.
better be standing next to this one.
Yeah. I mean, we were literally taught that.
Listen.
You both in the same class. You don't leave. And she sleeps. She don't want to go.
We don't let nobody fail up in here.
We have class.
Come on, sis.
Where are you going? Because we have a quiz tomorrow. Accountability.
We're going to go out to this party tonight, but we're going to be back by a decent hour so that we can get this.
And we're going to study for this quiz.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to wake you up because I know you struggle at 8 o'clock classes. 7:30, I'll be at your room, sis.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Nothing.
And still doing it. And still doing it. As old ladies being like, what's up with the mammogram, sis? We mammogram age. Let's get it. Just like it's a chemistry quiz. Same accountability.
There's no greater sisterhood in this universe.
Yes.
It is what it is. I'm not even going to talk about it because y'all not going to get me to crying again. Listen, I got my tissue this time. I got my... I'm going to put it right here.
We told you already that awe and wonder. I mean, really think of the word awe. Think of it too. We're not talking about being impressed. We're not talking about just appreciating. We're saying being in awe, being stunned by the wondrousness of a thing. This is not hyperbole. Remember, we're talking about joy. This whole thing is not about like contentment. We're talking about joy. To get joy, joy is an extreme emotion. It is a place. It is a high optimal place at which to operate. That's why the principles that are involved in the attainment of joy are high optimal places at which to operate.
Here we go. Buckle up, Buttercup. We're heading out.
We're headed to Wonderment.
Listen. We are there.
Wonderment.
So what we decided is that instead of sharing
me.
with you our joy for the week, because we have so much, I mean, joy just every
We bleed
second.
it out.
It really is. I mean, we say that jokingly. I mean, it really does get to the point that we're like, how do I decide on just what we could be here? We could do a whole show of just what our joy was for this week.
Yep.
So we decided, since we are in the season of it, we're going to talk about what is our awe and wonderment moment for this week. I'm going to tell you what mine is. It just happened like 10 seconds ago. Watching her and her gift of inspiration when she gets on it.
Put out the soapbox.
That thing is, I could really just sit and be like this.
Sometimes I wonder, people who just listen to the podcast without looking at us, they're missing some of this. Do I describe it so that if you're listening, how she's looking?
I could sit at her feet. I could just. When she gets that thing going, I just be like, this is a real person, and I have access to them, and I just get to sit.
Listen, I know, right? I think that about so many people. I'm like, oh my God, I get access to Maria Newport, and she gets to tell me stuff. I can leave her a message; she will respond. Can you imagine just like calling Mahatma Gandhi? Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just go have somebody on speed dial that is just amazing, that can pour into
just
you.
Oprah,
oh
right there.
My God, let me ask Oprah what she was. Hey, girl.
I am Gail. What? Just sitting here like I
get to be. Listen, I feel the same way. My awe for the week has actually been our Joy Johns, to be honest with you. I have been amazed at how many people say, I have been listening. You know, we don't know when people are listening. If they don't leave a message or they don't subscribe or, you know, we just have like lurkers, right? You know, which no problem. You know what I'm saying? We would like you to subscribe. Just for numbers and just, you know, so that we can.
We want to know you're out there.
We want to know you're out there.
If this is worth it, we know it's worth it. It doesn't matter. I mean, whether you subscribe or not.
We have a good number of lurkers, because we go places and people be like, the podcast. And we be like, who are you? Oh my God.
Never met you before in my living days.
And they're like, oh no, I'm part of a group. And we listen.
This is what really gets me. When they say my name and they're able to pronounce it right, I'm like, you've been watching.
You've been watching it. Mm-hmm. You didn't say Mari.
You didn't say Mari. You didn't say Marty.
Right. You said Marty. Did you say that? Listen, it has been really something. And I am in awe of it, because I do think it's something to submit to joy. We are not taught to do that, especially in our westernized kind of, you know, understanding of how happiness is conceived. We're not taught to really embrace joy and to see people say, I will join this revolution. It's just been wondrous.
Amen, sister. Can we cheers to that?
Let's cheers. Let's cheers it on up.
Mm-hmm. All right. So as we told you all last week, we are in the season of awe and wonderment. I feel like we need a song. Is there an awe and wonderment song?
Yeah, I think so. We have to think about it.
Awe and wonderment. I've got awe and wonderment. It's got to have that heavy vibrato
at the end.
Yeah, we're going to find something for you.
Awe and wonderment is an explicit feeling of appreciative respect given with a state of admiration and reverence.
It is finding the joy in discovery and allowing yourself to be amazed. Oof.
Now, do people just walk around in awe and wonderment? Who do we know? You know, I mean, like, they think there's a particular population that we do think about when we think about people who walk around naturally existing in awe and wonderment. But it's more than just the one population you're thinking. We're going to talk about them too, but there are people who are more likely, more prone to tap in to awe and wonderment.
Yes. So if we start, the most obvious, this is the most obvious. If you have had any experience with these people, if you work with them, if you have them in your home, if you are around them in any way, you know this to be true. Children.
Yeah. When I tell you they stay in awe and wonderment.
Just right there.
If they have an Oreo cookie that has a little bit more white frosting in it than the last one, look at it. You have to stop what you're doing and see how they somehow have come up with a double stuffed Oreo in a regular Oreo bag.
And it don't even have that much more.
Amazing.
It's just, it takes them out. It takes them slap out.
Rainbow
They share.
blows
Randy,
their mind.
look, I got a double stuffed Oreo this morning.
Mm-hmm.
They hold on to that feeling.
They are amazing.
Oh, don't let it be something amazing like a rainbow. Don't let that. We saw a rainbow today.
I love how they celebrate themselves too. You know what I'm saying? Kids will be like, I made something and I expect it to be on this refrigerator because I think I really put my soul into it. Put this up. Put this up.
I want you
Celebrate
to know,
this.
my girlfriend Toby, I've known Toby since I was like 3 years old. And she lives in Colorado. And her son is she'll send me videos of him just playing the piano. He will put something on YouTube and just play along to it.
What? Come on, talents.
I just sent her a message this morning. I said, what is this brilliance? This just... And she's like, yeah, he's got his little piano and he's very proud of himself. He should be.
That's why that's the time to learn things like learning languages and whatnot. You're wide open.
You're so in tune
You know what I mean?
to it, yeah.
Right. You're just wide open. Learning things is exciting to you. Right? I've always hated school. It's hard to believe you hated school as a small child. That's unusual. In fact, that's usually something we pay attention to. We'd be like, when a small child hates school, that's usually something seriously problematic. Because you love it at that age. I found this out.
Up.
Lord, my daughter comes home with that social studies. Did you know?
I know.
That Native American, her mind is just blown. She cannot wait to tell me.
I despised my child at the age of 7 because she would do just that. Yeah. She would come home.
You're drinking out of
Mommy,
a cup
did you know?
that was invented by a black man.
I already knew this, but the fact that they're just discovering it, it's like...
sponge of it all.
And they want everyone to be equally as awed by it. That's what I love. They want to bring you into the awe and wonderment.
When she finds a rock and she'll be like, wait a minute, did you see? You must not have seen it. Because you might need to get close to the rock. Because this rock was absolutely mind-altering. And your response was way too calm. I think you didn't look at it. I didn't know that.
I'm telling you. And it does go, we're saying children, we're saying young children, but I'm saying like up until your 20s, my daughter's learning sign language. So she comes home to me the other day and she says, she knows that when I come home from work, I have to decompress in the car. Just let me just sit here for a second. Just let me get my time.
Why do we sit in cars?
But she came up to me in the car and she said, do you want to see a story? I was like, see a story? She said, I'm going to do it in sign language. I was like, yes, I've got to see. She told me a whole story. When I tell you it was the most ridiculous story about a lumberjack
Wonderment
in the forest. When I tell you that she was acting it out, she was giving me the trees, she was doing everything. And she was so proud of discovering this new thing. I was like, that's it. That's that awe and wonderment there.
That's that awe and wonderment.
Yes. Children.
I love it.
They are the ones, if you want to see how do I learn how to do this, just go behind a child.
They have a patience with learning new things too.
Yes, they do.
That's part of that. The awe and wonderment will bring you that kind of patience. When you start feeling like, oh my God, let me just hurry up, it's because you haven't embraced the awe and wonderment of the task.
Yeah.
Or the new skill. They have.
Yes. So children definitely. And then the next population.
On the other end of the spectrum. Actually, it's older people, believe it or not. I think older adults often stereotypically get a bad rap, but you have to remember that we are always learning something, right? In those middle ages, we think everything's old hats and we're just kind of running around. When you are an older person, like new technology or this can happen is amazing to you.
That's true.
It's amazing
Very
to you
true.
that this, especially when you remember, You know what I mean? Like not being
From
able
whence we
to
came.
do such a thing. Do you no? So we went to when Barack Obama was elected. When was that? 2008. Right?
Well,
Or
he was
the-
elected in 8.
Right.
We celebrated in 2000.
9. So we go.
celebrated, honey.
It was baby. We gave it. We,
When I say
listen.
we gave everything we
coming
had
to
that
America
celebration.
celebrated Barack
Listen.
Obama. Listen. I don't know about everybody else out here.
I know that inauguration.
we celebrated the night that it
we
came
did.
in.
We did. We did.
You're not even ready. I was riding on a police officer's Segway just down. Yes, I was. Down
I was
Peach
walking
Street,
through the streets of
yelling.
Harlem, and we were looking each other in the eye, like and nodding,
here
and
it
we were
is.
like, we did
And
that.
here it is.
We did that.
I was telling people, y'all want to get married. You in love, and your marriage is gonna be legal. Wow! Yeah, I was literally. Nope. Ah. You might think I'm making it up. Screaming
at
it.
people.
So we're in, it was the coldest day ever in Washington, D.C. Just a record-breaking
19 degrees.
I mean, it was like high. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
we had hand warmers. We
unbelievable.
had so many layers.
Unbelievable. And, they shut down D.C., so you have to just get to the city limits, and then you were walking for the rest of the way. So we are walking in the bitter cold, and we go through this like tunnel at some point.
Yeah.
And these 2 black women are in the tunnel, and I remember thinking, it's too cold, and the walk is too far.
They were older.
When I tell you that
They
this
were
moment,
marching.
I might start crying right here. There was this. They brought them little fold out seats, and they were sitting down and moving, and they were like, "Oh no, we're going to see this. We're not missing this. If we die out here, worth
Tonight."
it." And I was like, "But it's super cold and the walk is long." They were looking like, "That's fine. I'm going out the way I would love." I never thought I'd see it.
I'ma die happy.
I never thought I would lay eyes on a black man being, and I'm not missing it. They had the awe and wonderment.
But
They were amazed
really,
by the
listen,
experience. And
I
I'm not missing
done
out.
I done been through the civil rights
Let's
era.
really think about
And
it.
you think this 19 degrees finna take me out? Get out of here.
Moved. I have been spat on. I've had to come in the back door. I worked for people who called me names and didn't give me the money. I had no recourse to fight them.
I am 1,317 years
Listen.
old, and I am going to be out here
I'm
tonight.
going to see this because the awe and wonderment carried them. Do you see
Nothing
what
else
I'm
mattered.
saying? The awe and wonderment of the experience of laying eyes on that man becoming the president of the
That's
United
real
States
good.
carried them through the
That's
cold. It
real
carried them
good.
through being tired. They didn't listen, they were like, "That's fine. We gonna get there. Now it's gonna take us a while. We walk in and y'all go right on ahead. I bet you we make it."
That's good.
That's that. But it was purely
You know
based
why,
in the awe
though?
and wonderment
Because when
they were
you're
so
older,
amazed by the experience.
You've lived your life. You've seen what life has to offer. You already got the wisdom. You know, you know the truth of a thing. You get to the end of your life and realize this is what matters. These little moments are what actually matter in the grand scheme of this whole thing. Listen.
It's why your parents are nicer to your children than they were to you.
Ooh, because please don't get me started on this, because this I don't want to talk about
Once
today.
they got to the grandparent age, they were like,
Mad
"Oh, I just
today
need to
about it.
celebrate this child. That's what I need to do." They're caught. And I was like, "You're amazed by the fact that she didn't eat all of her food when I got
see
in
that?
trouble for that."
You see that?
Like, when
see
I
that?
asked my daughter what she ate at my parents' house, she'd be like, "Pizza, tater tots." I'd be like, "You didn't have liver and onions and Brussels sprouts?" Because
Correct.
but they're not to say it's right or wrong, but I'm saying older people will get caught in the awe of the thing. Do you know what I mean?
Because they know what matters.
Your children are running you ragged, and you know what I'm saying. Like, but they are like, this
Listen.
child is a blessing.
Because we're so caught up in the everyday.
We're caught up in
we're
the practical
we're
life.
caught up in the minutia of everything. The old folks is like, man, listen, if I don't know nothing else, I know the world keeps turning. But this small moment right here is what's going to get you. This is going to carry you through.
Think about things that older people also celebrate too. A spread of food. Getting gas for under a certain amount.
Listen, they start shouting. Do you see this?
My father talks about weather.
$2.87.
You know, I know it's a stereotype that like old men talk about the weather. I want you to know that Marvin Bell talks about the weather constantly.
I want you to know.
Because he's amazed by it. You know what I'm saying? And he allows himself to just pay attention to it.
The way they are unmoved by, I cannot. My father, let's see, he was born in 35. He'll be 90 in a couple years.
He will.
I know, he looks so good.
And then there's Gus.
And then there's Gus. My daddy is, listen, you want to talk about awe and wonderment. I could do a whole episode on Gus Newport, but he, 2 years ago, had his leg amputated. Mm-hmm. And when I say that thing has never got him down.
You couldn't find him. He out. You out? I remember that so well because that was kind of everything was going on. House and room. I mean, all these things that we talk about, this is all happening at the same time. She was like, I'm trying to find my father. What do you mean trying to find him?
Where are you at with one leg?
With your leg. He out.
Listen.
He was like, I didn't lose my head. But I can still get places and I'm going to be there.
And for him, it's given him one more thing to discover to be able to do. Mm-hmm. Oh, now I get to learn how to walk on without two legs. What?
I was like, why is your father in the streets, 85?
I want you to know that man be traveling like, where are you, Daddy? You're not home. Where are you? Oh, I'm out in New York. I'm visiting a friend.
80s and one leg.
That's fine.
Because he's decided.
Because he didn't live this life. He knows what's important.
I'm going to continually expose myself to awe and wonderment.
Yeah. My daddy still gets
of it all.
So excited by something I do. Daddy, I ain't nobody in comparison
like you in the second grade.
I want you to know that my dad, somebody, you know that Damani called me years ago and said, I just met your father. He just delivered a whole speech. And at the beginning of his speech, all he did was talk about you.
Oh,
and how amazing you are.
Little daddies.
I ain't done nothing.
Yes, you did. You better be in awe and wonderment of yourself. He's in awe and wonderment of you.
That's fine. Because as they get older, they know what's important. That's how we got to be. Don't wait. Don't wait until you 60, 70, 80 something to then get it. Get it right now, today.
Mm-hmm. Now listen, we're just telling y'all what the research says. So don't be like, here we go. They some Spelmanites.
Let me preface this before you say that. Let me preface this with, we have a lot. One of the things I'm proudest of is that we have so many male listeners.
We do.
Okay. Listen.
I don't think they'll disagree.
We have so many male listeners. And one of the things, what makes me so excited is that we are now giving you the tools. Some things that just naturally unlock for us, we're giving them to you. Mm-hmm. So, okay.
Well, and I think, there's naturally, then I think we're socialized in some particular ways.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Right. I mean, we're allowed to do this.
Statistically speaking, women usually experience awe, right, more naturally than men do, right? Women will have it, but I also think we have allowed women to experience
exactly.
It's okay for women to be like, oh my gosh. Yep. We have feminized that experience instead of just saying it's joy and it's for everybody.
When she does this, when she goes into, like, I can't take it. It's too much for me.
I didn't even go on a roll because I was about to be like, how are we feminizing joy?
I want you to go there.
And leaving men out of an experience, but we let them have it as small children. Then all of a sudden they get to a particular age and you can't be surprised and happy anymore. You can't get excited about a thing and amazed anymore. That's a no homo moment. Come on. Y'all stop doing that. We gotta stop doing that. Right? So many times we really have, I think we have socialized and allowed for women to be able to experience that wonderment. It just, I want a man, whatever that means, a masculine, manly man to be able to say, let's go drive through and go see the fall colors. Because you want to see them.
Baby, if you're a man and you say that to me tonight,
we might.
I might rock your world.
It might be a thing. Yeah.
Listen, let me not give you all the secrets, because if you do that to me,
that might unlock something.
If you get real excited about the mundane, baby, I'll take you to heaven.
That's what I did today. I saw this and I was like, You excited about it? Because I
just drool.
I feel like we're both excited, right? Excitement all around. It's all kind of excitement in this room. What else happened today? I wish a man would be like, let's go drive and see the fall colors.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. But that means he's allowing himself to be in touch with it, right? We normally see those kinds of things. Let's say something amazing, right? On women. let's develop that ability to tap into that kind of joy in everybody.
It's sexy.
It's sissy.
Ooh, please. I want you to just walk up to me and just say,
I don't listen.
I'm just
men who sings, and there's, it's a couple of them that be playing these games with me right now. They'll be sending songs. I'd be like, don't do that.
No.
I heard this song, and this part just really. So you don't play with me like that. Don't be sending me no songs.
In fact, I have a friend who this is our love language. This is what he does. He just sends me songs that thing gets me excited in a way.
To know that you took a moment
and you thought of me and wanted to
4
share
minutes
the
and whatever that is. Yes, to be like, did you hear the part where you heard it? You're telling me that you've been in awe and wonderment behind whatever that is.
I'm going to start an OnlyFans page just on that. This man sent me this song today and said
I've said that before. That's why I like fan. I put that in my list of things. You know what I'm saying? I like men. They're fans of something. I'm also kind of a Dragon Con fan.
No. I think the sexiest thing is for a man to be a diehard fan of even a losing team, a team that ain't never gonna win, and he's ride or die. Listen, then I know he gonna stick beside my raggedy ass.
I unplugged my mic.
Did you? No, it's this.
I unplugged this? Okay. I don't need to hear that then.
Where'd you pull it out of?
Oh, right here. Because I hollered.
Is it?
I stuck it in. No. I hollered.
Is it in?
When she said that.
Okay. Now, okay.
Anyway.
I mentioned OnlyFans and we go there.
I wasn't even talking about that. I was just saying I put this thing back in my ear. I hollered. This fool said that only, but honestly, it really is. It really to be in touch with that kind, to be able and free enough to experience awe and wonderment. That thing is cute.
I'm swooning imagining.
It's so cute, and if you really admit it, as much as you might eye roll or something when people do that, because that's your cynical self has been taught that that's a waste of time. Really let yourself, if you haven't seen the awe yet, let yourself see it in someone else. It's infectious. Yeah. Stop lying. You know you like it. Yeah. It's why you buy gifts for people. It's why you throw them surprise parties. It's why you hold information and then tell them later. It's why you take them to the, you know what I'm saying? It's why you do that stuff. You know why? Because you love awe and wonder.
You love all that.
You love seeing them being, you like that. Don't be like, I don't like it. Yes, you do.
You find it sexy,
yes,
too.
You do. You think it's sexy. You think it's sexy.
Come on. Admit it. Moving on. Okay. So this is something that's interesting that we found out. Income and location, they are not as important as one may think. So you may think that somebody who, I don't know, we talked about the homelessness thing earlier, right? You might think that somebody who has more may be in a place where anybody can do it.
Yeah. In fact, having too much, I think, can can lead to a complacency
used
with particular
to it.
things.
Yeah.
It's really that's why, I try to tell people we're all guilty of doing it, especially in our generation. We want our kids to have so much more than we had, right? And if they get 1,000 things for birthdays and Christmas, you'll find they're not as about the things anymore. And it's not because they're not good kids or they're not grateful. They've just become used to, you're just going to shower me with everything I want all the time. I don't have anticipation. I know you're going to do it.
You gave me something last Thursday.
I'm not surprised. I'm not amazed. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? None of that is part of the experience. And sometimes, and I think, it can be unfair to rob a child of that kind of,
Don't be afraid to tell your children no, so that when you say yes, they be like, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Or they get that feeling of oh my gosh, it's wondrous to earn a thing and not just be given it. There's a space that think about it. Now listen, I'm winning a lottery ticket. I'm not mad at it. Lord, don't think I'm.
No, I did, but I do.
But you know what I'm saying? There's something about when you earn
I think,
the thing. You're like, oh, I'm in awe of myself and the situation.
I agree. You know, I think back on. So my child, she worked really, really hard to save the money for a car. I mean, she worked really hard. I looked at her bank account at one point and was like, "You might have more than me. Shoot, what is going on?" I mean, she scrimped and saved everything that she could. She would take on extra shifts of babysitting, and we were so impressed by the work that she put into that we then gave her the car, and we said, "You use that money." You hold on to that for when you have to fix the car, when you have to do, because those things are going to come.
Yeah.
We've got you with this, you know, and the way that she broke down and cried, but it was really because, like, I am amazed.
You were in awe.
You have done things. Did I teach you this? Did I teach you how to? Because I don't know that even I taught you how to do this. I was amazed at that. And so, you know, just some things to consider. It's, but again, income and location have nothing to do with, anybody can tap into it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Anybody can tap into it.
So, you know, if you watched last week, you know, I think this became clear, you know, then too. But spirituality and awe are really connected.
Yes.
Right. So, you know, we were finding research that said, you know, religious folks, but that might be different from a real spiritual center. Right. Remember, religion has to do with kind of like how your spirituality is practiced. It's a routine. It's tradition. But like your actual spiritual center in terms of being interconnected with the rest of the world, and that you have some sort of purpose beyond, you know, kind of the obvious. That is an awe-inspiring concept just by itself. Just by itself. When you look at other people and you be like, wow, look at all these individual different gifts. What's mine? And I have something unique that I just contribute to the world. That's a whole spiritual experience right there.
You said something earlier that absolutely took me out. You said none of us are wasted.
That we are not.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. Let's put it. I want you to. If you weren't paying attention, I want you to stop what you're doing. You washing the dishes, put the pan down. That none of us are wasted. That all of us are part of God's divine plan.
There is nobody who's just been a waste of skin. No matter what they've done. And people are like, well, what about?
Out
I understand what
here.
you're saying. Yeah. Nope, not them either. Because there is something. There was a meaning. There was something. Something begat something from the presence of that human on this earth.
No one is here by happenstance.
Look how hard it is to get here. You couldn't possibly be. That little sperm fought its way through. I mean, it's really think about this, right? It gets its way through. It's getting it's fertilizing. That thing
with 100 other mofos to get here.
It was like millions of y'all like
before you
through.
Even attacked an egg. Get out of here.
The miracle of you before you even breathe air.
We talked about this.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable
that you're just going to exist like an amphibian, just a tadpole,
inside of another person.
Just inside of some water, just a sack of just fluid.
Then when I come out, I'll need air to survive. Instantly.
And I'll get it.
What?
You pop me on the behind and suddenly
my mouth is wide
just
open.
a gasp, and that I know how to do that.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Awe and spirituality, wonderment, right? And a spiritual center are connected things. It will just amaze you.
It'll take you out. If you really
it will
stop
just amaze
to
you.
think about that thing. We keep talking about this, the most mundane. I'm not talking about the large, the elaborate. I'm not talking about the fireworks. I'm talking about the speck of dust. How did it get here? What was the process?
I'm not your shadow. Just follow me. What? We got early. I'm not trying to be funny. Earlier, we got so into the concept of fingerprints. How in the world is this design only for you? Not just it doesn't match any human alive now. It never matched a human being before you, and it will never again. Into perpetuity, we have that many unique designs. What?
Who planned this? God.
What?
Listen,
That's
don't.
outcome. If you're not in awe, how? Now, why is this important, right? Why is this important? Because the mundane is the thing that's dragging your mental health. That's what we're saying. When you're caught into kind of the practical, the everyday, who cares about the fingerprints? Who cares about the sunstone? Who cares about when you stop caring, when you stop thinking of things as magnificent, right? That does have a drain on your mental health. You need amazing to be healthy.
I'm not going to let her take me into crying today. We're moving on because y'all saw me last week and you saw
we're moving on.
It don't take much. All right.
Yeah. We're not going to do it this time.
So listen, the most common sources of awe, some things that you may not think of. It may not be the first thing that comes to your mind, right? Again, I poured into, I go through articles, I read books, I do these things whenever we are studying a new concept. And I looked into something called the most common source of awe, moral beauty. Listen, the first thing, kindness.
Be in awe of people's kindness.
That thing is not small.
It's not small. Even if you're just looking at to you, right? Be in awe of somebody who allowed you to get in front of them when they got somewhere to go to.
This man held a door open for me yesterday, and I looked him in the eye and I said, "Sir, thank you." And he looked me back in my eyeball and he said, "It's my pleasure." It's your pleasure to hold the door open for somebody you don't know. Sir, thank you for existing.
I went on an international trip with my students. A volcano had erupted somewhere, and it was actually disabling flights all over the world. It was very strange. Like the something about the darkness and was in the air, and it was just once the flight stuff it has a domino effect. If these flights don't leave on time, then these don't, and it was just crazy. So we are stuck in Europe, right? We are trying to get home. We're taking flights to DC. We can't get back to Atlanta. We run into Judge Hatchett. Do you remember Judge Hatchett? Yes. TV. Shout out Judge Hatchett. She sees that my students have Clark Atlanta University on. She comes over. What is this? She's in awe. I said, "I'm their teacher." And she said, "You've taken your students?" I said, "Yes." And in fact, we were supposed to go to Egypt. That's when the riots broke out. I quick changed the trip. I was telling her this whole story, and now we're stuck. You know what I'm saying? We are going through countries and stuff trying to get back. And so we get enough tickets for all students except for one student. We're getting on. It almost had a Home Alone moment. I'm like, "Where is my student?" I'm texting her. I was like, "Chanel, where are you?" She said, "I'm in first class." I said, "Well, how are you in first class?" Judge Hatchett gave her seat. Not only did she give her the seat, Judge Hatchett stayed and no telling when she got back. Because we had been sleeping in airport. We had been doing it. Judge Hatchett. Well, like the famous judge. That's what I'm talking about. Turns out I think she at some point she was on the board for Clark Atlanta. She said, "Nope, you can take all these babies back to Atlanta. They look tired." She gave up her seat in first class to my student. I was so in awe of that kind of kindness to remain stuck. I'm a celebrity, okay? I give up my first class seat to just a child, just a 20-year-old. She said, "You're doing good work, Dr. Bell. Take these babies back to Atlanta." Ma'am, what?
And how do we walk around and not hold our heads up high in a way that shows you I am blessed and highly favored. My issues are already taken care of.
By many folks. Because sometimes we don't.
Because
it doesn't
kindness
feel. Listen,
exists in the world.
When people stop
Get
to
outta here.
listen to you, it is a kindness. When people answer the phone after they've had a long, hard day, they got their own kids. I will get on the phone and listen to you talk about your kids. That's a kindness that they are extending.
We don't
to
get
you.
it. We don't get it.
In awe of
We
it.
don't get it. We don't get it. That we don't recognize just the basic kindness that you mentioned it just a second ago. Something as small as someone letting you in traffic. You don't know that if you had just been a couple cars behind, how that could have altered your whole day in a negative way.
How it might have altered theirs to let you go. You caught the light, they didn't, and all kinds of other things. But they gave it to you anyway. They took that risk to be kind to you.
Okay.
And I really believe that. That's why I really believe in that kindness, paying it forward. You know what
Ooh,
I mean?
I love that.
I
I
love
love
that.
to pay for somebody's.
I
When I'm in
love
line and
that.
I just go on ahead and let me pay for the person behind me.
I found this girl's phone in Starbucks bathroom, and I turned it in, and this man saw me do that and offered to pay for my coffee, but I had already paid for it. So I said, pay for this other person who's up in the front. And I was like, I wonder how that might have snowballed the rest of the day. It was like just back-to-back acts of kindness that were just happening.
Because when you feel that someone has been kind to you, it automatically triggers
give it back
something
to
in
the
you.
world.
I want to,
Yeah.
which similarly, if you feel like someone has hurt you or hurt people, right? So if we're kind to one another, that thing shifts the way that we go through the world.
It shifts the world. It shifts the world itself.
She makes me very tired.
Oh,
She just says things, and I just go, yep, that's it. That's it.
Yes,
That's the
I
answer.
am. So we have kindness. Another common source of awe is strength.
Yeah.
We are not talking about that pathological strength. You know, that's not, we have said that many times. We're not talking about just like, I just carry all the burdens in the world on my shoulders and never
Please
ask for
don't
help.
do that. I don't think that's cute.
I'm not in awe of that.
No.
Mm-mm,
No.
mm-mm. That's ordinary.
Ooh.
Right? It is extraordinary to press beyond the boundaries of what
She
you
about to give it to
normally
you.
do.
She's about to give it to
You're about to
Listen,
give it to them.
I'm about to run out of here.
It does, doesn't it? It really does. It takes a lot of strength to swallow pride. Imagine.
It takes a, so I saw a t-shirt today that said when they go low, we go lower. Sorry, Michelle.
But you're not in awe of that. Really think about it. You've never been in awe of somebody cuss
It's so
somebody out.
easy to go lower,
Yeah,
y'all.
it
It's
isn't.
so easy to be low vibrational.
That's not, you're not in Wonderment.
Baby, when that thing presses you out of a thing, when you have to go above and beyond even what you, when you have to be like,
Listen. And
when you
choose
have to
character,
not cuss a joker out, when you decide, I'm going to show up as my best goddamn self.
you're going to get this character.
When you say, I didn't even know I had it in me, when your baby daddy is somewhere telling all kinds of untruths about you, when he's on Twitter talking about you like you a raggedy monkey, and when you see him the next time in front of your child, and you be like, hey, how you doing? Good. I'm glad.
Really? Because again, we're talking
Listen,
about awe and wonderment, y'all.
when
You've
you
never been
go
amazed by somebody
beyond
cussing
what
somebody out.
You knew
That's not
you
amazing.
could do. Listen, that thing
Yes.
will take you. Sometimes we're going to talk in an episode about awe and wonderment of yourself. Sometimes you just got to be, I did that.
Listen, I'm impressed by myself. That I kept it together.
I
That
did
I
that.
showed character. That I thought about the long game. Because I think sometimes the way we experience,
Listen.
like difficult things, it really takes strength to say, I'm not going to succumb to this moment.
She out
I'm
here
gonna
telling
think
people
about
that
what's
I done messed with her man and I didn't, and every time I see her, it's with a smile.
Hi.
Hey, love.
Hey there.
How are you?
It actually takes more strength to demonstrate that kind
It
of
takes so
restraint
much
and character.
more strength.
It doesn't feel like okay, I ain't delivered yet. I'm just gonna let these people know. No problem. Just know that that's not something that is going to inspire awe. I'm not amazed by somebody slapping somebody. I am in awe of someone who chooses tact, who thinks carefully about what's wise in this situation.
What was wise? Long game.
Mm-hmm. Who thinks more intellectually about. I have a whole future to attempt.
This negrum's ass, but I'm gonna hold it together.
But I'm a brand. I'm a you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm a whole brand, and I can't just go. I can't fly off the handle. I cannot do the thing that in my first mind I want to. Listen, that thing will take me out.
Mm-hmm. But that's a strength.
It is.
Do you know what I'm saying? Being in a place where you make a choice. Don't be a slave to your emotions in the moment.
I once dated a brother who was 6'4". He was 265 pounds. He's huge. When he comes in a room, everyone knows who he is.
So you're like, that's everyone you've ever dated. Oh my God, that's so crazy. I have no idea. You could be talking about like 17 people.
No, he has this goddess body, right? And he what he told me was, because when they expect me to respond in a particular way, he said, I choose to be the peacekeeper. That thing
catch them off guard. Yeah.
He said, I'm the one who gets in between the people who want to fight.
Not the person putting people on their back.
I'm not the person who says, oh, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to fight with. No, I'm trying to dissolve this. I was like, that.
And that would inspire awe and wonder.
Listen.
Because what they expected from you, you didn't deliver. So then you were amazed. You out here delivering. You expect me to cuss somebody else? You gonna get what you expect, right? That nobody
basic.
Wondering about that. That's so Wonderment.
Basic. Don't be basic.
Just don't wondrous.
Listen. Surprise people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exist on another plane.
Yeah. So here's another one going right along with that strength. Overcoming adversity.
Mm-hmm.
I tell this story to anyone who will listen. I was listening to Oprah's podcast. I don't know what it's called at the moment, but whatever it is, she interviews different people. And I remember being so touched by this story that I immediately got on Marco Polo and was like, let me tell you about this story about this woman. And I mentioned her before. Madonna Badger. If you just have 5 minutes in your day, just Google her story.
Mm-hmm.
One Christmas is the perfect Christmas, y'all. She had her parents come over. She's there with her 3 daughters. She was so excited. She had gotten them, I think she had gotten them like new iPhones. She had just finished wrapping them. She had put them under the tree, all of this. Her father was so into Christmas, he had gone out to be Santa at like Macy's or Neiman Marcus or something. He had volunteered to do that, right? Her mother had just finished baking her famous apple pie. I mean, this is the Christmas that you write into
Hallmark,
stories, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere between the hours of 3 and 5 o'clock that morning, an electrical fire started in her house. She lost all of them. Her father, her mother, her 3 daughters, all of them perished in this fire. She was the only one to get out. And Oprah is asking her, how did you get past this? She says, honestly, I don't know. I had friends that had to come and pick me up literally off the floor. They were doing some kind of, they were studying grief and pain at the University of Texas. They took her in because they were like, we have to understand this whole process.
And she has such a level of grief.
Listen, this woman she is married. She is remarried to a wonderful man. To hear her talk about this story, and it's not to say that, she doesn't still have this pain, But the fact that you were able to go beyond this, your worst losing one child, losing one parent. Everybody I love is obliterated in
the night.
Listen, I followed that woman. Wherever you go, I want to know what wisdom you got. What you got for me?
But what it shows, and again, we are not minimizing that situation at all.
At all.
Is that inspiration can always be found. You can always find it. It can always be found. You might need help. Notice she said, I got picked up off the floor. She didn't say she laid there and just got it herself. She got picked up.
She said she was raw. She said every single nerve ending was exposed. Obviously. Someone came and got her.
In the possibility that I can have awe and wonderment again. I can have any kind of feeling. I'm sure she was just numb for quite a while again. And she allowed people to lead her back out to
It's
that
a very
path.
real thing, y'all. It's a very real thing.
That really shows us that inspiration is always available. We just have to tap into it.
Believe. I can't see it right now. It's there. Just believe in the possibility of the thing. That thing took me out. Next one, actions of strangers, people you've never met, y'all.
That I like that because a lot of times with the people that there's some expectations about how they should act and move. Depending on if you are a cup half empty or a cup half full type of person, how your expectations of people you don't know are going to differ, right? But when you allow yourself to be wowed by strangers, it is such a source of awe and wonderment. To look at somebody you have no idea, I don't know how they're going to behave when I drop all my books in front of them. And then to watch them care and help me pick them up.
And turn to you and be like, no problem. And keep it pushing.
But don't skip past those.
That's not small.
Right. Really take a second and be wowed by it. Man, you didn't have to stop. A lot of people wouldn't have.
I remember once Baba had given me an assignment to, I don't know, create proverbs and give them out to people. I'm like, okay, Baba. So I was in Target. This is like 2011 or 12. And I'm handing out these pieces of papers with, things I had learned in my life, whatever. I don't know how deep this is or whatever. These are the things that I have come across in my life. I give it to this woman and I walk to another aisle. I don't know if she's going to read it. I don't care. This is my assignment. I'm just whatever.
Yeah.
And I hear this woman shouting from an aisle over. Oh my God. What? I want you to know this white woman from, Buckhead, blonde hair, blue eyed, came and found me in the next aisle. The piece of paper that I had given her said something like, make sure that the people you give your love to deserve your love. Something, She held my hand. She said, I'm going through a divorce. My husband of 25 years cheated on me. I needed this today. I said, oh my God, I'm so glad I gave it to you. I was just handing this. This means that it got to the person it was supposed to get to. And she just, when I say wept, she hugged me. She said, thank you. Because now I know that I can still give my love, but it'll just be to those who deserve it. I said, then that's all I needed to do.
Yeah. Your job was done.
I don't know this woman.
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
Yeah.
If I saw her again today, I wouldn't know who she is. Strangers can touch you if you're open to the possibility of it.
To be amazed. Yep.
The act of strangers.
If you allow yourself to be amazed.
Yeah. Finally, when we think of wonderment, these are the things that really, I don't think we notice it in the moment. but exceptional virtue, character, and ability marked by a purity and goodness of intention and action. When people are just good, y'all.
Yeah. Or just awesome at something. Allow that to amaze you. Stand in awe of it.
I'm going to just give you this little nugget. This ain't no little nugget to me.
Mm-hmm.
This was everything to me.
Mm-hmm. Be in awe of it. I love it.
Y'all don't understand. Awe and wonderment can really take you there.
Listen,
if
it just
you
takes us all the way there.
allow yourself to go all the way live, awe and wonderment can take you there.
I feel like when we get some of the things we get in the Joy Journal are people saying that they're in awe and wonderment of the podcast, which just you have no idea. Like we don't just be like family. You know what I'm saying? Like we are screaming. We're like, oh my gosh, people are getting from this what we want
in the world.
People to get. I mean, what? Like people really. Folks are really like thinking about this and assigning themselves to increase the joy in their lives. Their awe and wonderment of us puts us in awe and wonderment.
We get a message, we share it with each other. I don't care what she's doing, where she is.
Like, do you see
I'm like, look at what we just got.
Look at what somebody said about what we are doing.
What somebody really genuinely believes in their heart of hearts.
Yes.
Y'all.
That leads us to our Joy Journal.
It does.
Joy Journal. You want to read the first one? Or you want me to read?
Joy Journal. I'm going to let you read it.
Journal.
Joy Journal. Yeah.
Joy, joy, joy.
Joy, joy, joy.
Joy,
joy, joy.
Joy, 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 joy. You got to go back to the altos. Joy, 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 joy.
Sorry.
We thought we were gonna make it through without doing it. I mean, we can't make it through.
No, and y'all don't want us to.
It's terrible.
Y'all have told us you like it.
I'm like, we can't make it through. We cannot get through an hour.
No. No.
We tried it. It didn't work.
Not at all.
It's not our skill set.
It's not my ministry.
Our ministry is to burst out into song.
Burst out. All right, you read it.
The first one? Okay. This is from Terrence from New Jersey. Hi, Terrence. I felt the need to tell you both how I enjoy your podcast. Kanika, you should know, if you don't, that I have and will always be a fan of Kanika Bell. However, introducing me to this feisty, phenomenal whirlwind of Latina greatness is one of your best gifts to and for me. Mari, I am overjoyed. I met you at breakfast that day, and you have been a joy ever since. Thank you both, ladies, for bringing joy to me. You all are both appreciated. FYI, y'all singing performance tickled my soul like y'all will never know. So I guess we shouldn't stop.
No, we shouldn't. And here's the thing. You know what I really don't think? I mean, y'all probably think, I've had people ask us, is this like scripted? No. This is the easiest way to say that. I don't, and I know I've had people say, no, now really, you all can't be in sync. We really, I'm sorry. Yeah. I guess it's 27 years of friendship at this point, because I don't.
There's
I honestly,
sentence finishing.
So many. Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a
waltz that we have perfected.
Yeah, it is what it is. But we are so grateful that now we get this platform that we're able to share this with you, because this is what we enjoy. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can get together and really enjoy each other. But I mean, this is really, we love to bring others into this in the name of joy.
We love it. I love it.
I don't care.
But we do though. I do care.
I do care. I love it.
I love it.
Yes. So,
all right. Next Joy Gentle.
This is our final. No.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It is. Our final Joy Journal entry for today is from AJ, lovely brother, y'all. He, you may see us this week. He posted a lovely video about what
lovely
Joy RX means to him. But this is AJ from Atlanta. Again, we love our male listeners.
I mean,
not just because we love men, huh?
I mean, but
also just because men are getting this.
Yes.
Yes.
Come on, get your Joy, men folk.
So he said, I am really enjoying your podcast. I watched the first five episodes and started 6 on my walk with my dog, smiley face. I needed this so much. You both gave me so much joy today. I was singing Pointer Sisters songs and everything.
We was giving you the Pointer Sisters.
We forgot about that. Oh, good luck. You just finished saying oysters look like little tiny vaginas, and I choked on my own spit while laughing. I mean, listen.
But I'm sure you also said, yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
What an astute
I was mad there weren't oysters at the seafood place. Anyway.
There was.
It has truly helped me in my joy journey. I am officially a Joy John.
Welcome. Get yourself a Joy John t-shirt at
shopjoyrx.com. Yes. Yes. The brothers have been loving the Joy John t-shirts. We're gonna release some new stuff. It's spring. We're gonna get some off the shoulders,
spring
some
again.
crop tops.
Everybody knows it's spring again. What's that?
I don't know.
What's this with the shoulders?
I'm giving it to the people.
Come on, Joy.
All right. Thank you all for joining us in our season. And pain.
Come on. Here you go.
And sunshine.
What else?
And rain.
And I got children.
Oh,
and pain. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
I apologize.
Give it to me, Rod Bass. We can end without that part. It's too important.
Thank you for joining us in our season of awe and wonderment.
Remember, if you like what you're seeing, please rate, review, subscribe to our podcast and on the YouTube channels. Give away this Wonderment. Somebody else needs it.
Needs it. We would be nothing without our Joy Johns. I'm telling y'all.
So we're building an army of Joy Johns. It's a revolution of joy. Be part of it. Is this marching? What is this?
In my mind, I was thinking of Scar in Lion King. Be prepared. I was thinking of a whole legion of
But you were so adorable.
But they had happy faces,
happy faces
as their mask, and they were
walking. They were
just
doing the things they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Walking and eating tacos. Right. Just walking and holding balloons.
Goodbye, y'all.
Go play the still music.
Be prepared.
It's too adorable. Your little stomp. Your stomp is regiment.
Da 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 da.
Spear fingers. We love to hear your stories about joy and how the podcast and joy movement are meaningful to you. Please submit to the Joy Journal at info@thejoyrxwebsite.com.
And please follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at The Joy RX, and on Twitter and YouTube at The Real Joy RX.
If you love what you hear and see on this podcast, love us, and love joy, please rate, like, subscribe, follow, and share.
And if you want to get some fancy joy merch, letting everyone know you are part of the Joy RX movement, go to shopjoyrx.com.
Thank you for joining us.